Greetings and salutations out there, everybody. Hope you're doing well wherever you are.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well. Yes, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Well, welcome to the Psycho Nerd Podcast. I am your host, the Psycho Nerd. Joined once again by my cohort. I forget how the word goes.
Not a cold heart.
That's not even close to what I said. Not even close to what I said. My second in command, my ride or die, Miss CJ. How are you today?
I'm good. Hello.
She skips over the part how we are very hot right now. The person I live with likes to keep it hot in this freaking house, even though, it's not that cold outside. So we're sitting in the dark. In the dark.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh. But I think that's actually kind of fitting considering today's topic. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I love horror.
So do I.
Do you, though?
I like it a lot.
She likes it a lot. Well, I love it. She likes it, but I love it. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
It's not a competition.
No, it really isn't. I am just having fun.
Yes.
But that's what this podcast is going to be all about. We're going to talk a little bit about horror, but if we're being specific, we're going to talk a little bit about my evolution as a horror fan, and maybe we can get a few details about yours as well, because we're almost the same age. I am, unfortunately, just a hair bit older, but we won't get into that right now. So really, I didn't really have the biggest upbringing when it comes to horror movies growing up, and I didn't see any slashers until I was 17 years old. Mom did not approve of slashers. Did you see any slashers before you were 17? Freddy, Jason, Leprechaun. No, not Leprechaun. We're not going to talk about Leprechaun.
Yes.
Oh, you saw that one? Ew.
I remember that. It was... Ew.
I'm not a fan. I didn't see Leprechaun until a couple of years ago for the first time officially, and it no es bueno. I didn't care for it.
Any kind of horror movie that I was able to watch, I had to do it in secret because my dad was a pastor.
Oh, so
it was frowned upon.
Oh no! So she had a pastor for a father, and I just had a mom who just didn't care for slasher films. She thought they were trash. I think it was the word she used. Garbage or trash, one or the other. Funny thing, I'm pretty sure she never saw any of them, so I'm pretty sure she just kind of judged it on what she heard about them. So,
probably.
But you know what? We're not going to hold that against her because
never.
I became a fan of slasher films anyway, so love you, Mom.
I'm sure she loves you too.
I know she does. So much so that the early days of me watching horror movies, you could say that she definitely she wanted to get me to watch said movie. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to talk through some of the movies that I do remember watching as a kid growing up, because really there's not that many. I mean, like I said, you take slasher films off the table, and then you take off. This is way before I ever heard of the Hammer horror films. I'd never seen any of the Universal monster movies. I think maybe I saw Frankenstein at some point as a kid, but do not quote me on that. But because these were in the pop culture, I knew of them. I knew of Dracula. I knew of Frankenstein, The Bride. These are all, and not to mention the fact that they were constantly parodied in different commercials. Do you remember the McDonald's commercials growing up with the chicken McNuggets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember that? Those were funny commercials back then. Those were a lot of fun. But the first movie that I ever actually saw, the first horror movie that I ever saw that I know Mom approved of, I know this because she woke me up in the middle of the night while she was recording said movie so that we could watch it together, and then we had a copy that I could watch whenever I wanted. And I watched it religiously as a kid. The movie is called House.
That's a good movie.
It still stands as one of my personal favorite horror movies of all time. There was a small period of time in my 20s, late 20s, early 30s, where I thought that maybe the movie didn't work so well anymore because some of the special effects that were used throughout the film. But I think that was a time in my life where I was becoming very overly opinionated about shit.
Yeah.
I have definitely grown out of that crap, and I'm sorry, I still love House. Love that movie to death. So much so that I do have it on Blu-ray currently. And I have part 2 as well. Now, for the record, I don't think that part 2 is on par with part 1, personally. I mean, what do you remember about part 2?
Not very much.
Not very much. Why not?
Mm-mm. Because I didn't see part 2 as much as I've seen part 1.
Okay, well, so you don't remember anything about it?
No.
That's a bummer.
I know part 1.
And I'm trying to look up a quick synopsis of the actual film, but this is funny. Every time I look up House, it always brings up this random,
Oh,
yeah,
my
it brings
daughter
up this,
just saw that movie.
I've never seen it.
It was on her bucket list and she got
What,
to
your daughter?
see it.
You're talking about your daughter or what?
My daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it brings up this random poster art of like a weird orange cat face or something like that. I've never actually seen it, but the poster art for the movie I'm talking about is I guess you say a deteriorated hand that's going to ring a doorbell. So yeah, but I mean, the movie itself, it stars William Catt, George Wendt, who I think everybody knows from Cheers,
Mm-hmm.
plays the next door neighbor after he moves into his aunt's house. It also has Richard Mole in. I love Richard Mole. Growing up, we always knew him in Night Court.
I know Night Court.
You remember Night Court? Remember the tall, bald guy that was like a bailiff or whatever? Remember him?
Vaguely, yes.
That was Richard Mole. He was also in Sidekicks, and he was in a handful of other things as well. But this was my introduction to him, and even William Catt. Because I'll be honest with you, I've not seen too many things with him, but I do remember later on in life I saw Carrie for the first time. He's in that movie. He's the boyfriend. He's the one that gets asked to take Carrie out to the prom. He's the one who gets knocked out during the pig blood sequence.
You know, when I think about it, it was either Carrie or Poltergeist that were my movies that I saw before I was 17,
Okay.
other than Leprechaun.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Can we stop talking about Leprechaun? We're not fans of Leprechaun around here. Well, we do love
No.
Warwick Davis, though, but that's a whole different discussion for another time. But essentially, there was one other character in this movie that Mom really kind of drew to as time went on because her and Dad liked watching In the Heat of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's this one character in the movie. He's played by an actor called Alan Autry, I think his name is. He played Bubba on In the Heat of the Night. Really big, muscular type dude, real deep voice, you know what I mean? Well, he plays one of the cops that gets called to check on him after he fires off the shotgun and supposedly kills the Spectre. Next door neighbor calls the cops, comes over. She recognized him right away because she loved Bubba. She loved Bubba. But to be fair, I do like him in that movie too, as small as his role is. But that was another memorable thing about the film. And it's a very basic premise. All it is you got a guy, Roger Cobb, whose son disappeared one day in the pool. He dove in to try to save him, and then he just disappears. And he can't let it go. And that's the whole entire movie. It's a situation where he just can't let it go.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a father, I can really kind of identify with this, the idea that not willing to let go of the fact that it's just always lingering in the back of your mind. And after his aunt, this happens in the first couple minutes, so I don't think I'm ruining anything. She actually commits suicide, hangs herself, and he inherits the house. Now, initially he's going to sell it, but as he's walking through the house with the guy who's helping him sell it, he's getting all these memories of his son and being in the house, and he just decides, you know what? I'm not going to sell the house. I'm going to stay here for a while.
Yeah.
There is one scene in this movie that creeped me the hell out as a kid. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this now. Some of these movies that we will be talking about, there may be some spoilers. I'm going to say that right now. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. So if I mention the name of a movie, and I will put this in the timestamps as well when I put this on YouTube, if you don't want any of these movies to be ruined, feel free to skip ahead. So This is your formal warning for this movie.
Thank you for the warning.
I'm going to start thinking about these things in the beginning as opposed to when I'm already so far into it. I'm still trying to get better. Anyway, the scene in the movie goes halfway through the film when he's with the realtor, whose name is Mr. Parker, by the way, in the film.
Hmm.
Mom always thought that was a nice touch. It was one of those little things that her and I
Yeah.
always acknowledged watching it. And at one point, they come to a painting that his aunt did, where it's just a very interesting mishmash of different things. You know, there's a clock, there's her walking into a door, and she's in the bathroom of the in the house or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't really think about it at the time that there is a draw cloth or whatever dangling over the right side of it. You don't think anything of it, right? No
Yeah.
big deal. Well, as the movie goes on, after all the shit that Roger goes through, he's lying in bed and he just kind of stares up and he thinks about it for a second. Then he has like a realization. He gets up, he goes back into that room, goes up to the painting, pulls the cloth off, and it reveals what he's been looking for the whole fucking time.
Portal to the thing.
On the portrait, it's showing that his son is trapped inside the mirror, or at least that's what it shows. That he's trapped inside the mirror, and that's where the rest of the movie goes from that point on. That scene between the music that plays and his reaction to it always creeped me out. That, oh my god, he was in there the whole fucking time.
Were you scared
I don't
of
say
looking in the mirror?
I wouldn't say scared. If you want to talk about scared, when I was 2 years old, I got scared watching the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
Yes,
and that's
I
very
remember
well
that.
documented in the family.
Yes.
They make fun of that. They make fun of me for that for years.
You were 2.
That's what I argue. It was the first
So
time.
cute.
It's the first wolf transformation I ever saw, and I know that's what scared me.
Aw.
So I don't have any actual recollection of it other than the aftermath.
So cute.
Mm-mm-mm. I recommend House to anybody. You could argue that this is a good entry level horror. It's not super scary by any means. It's more creepy, more psychological. You know what I mean? And personally, Roger Cobb is one of my favorite characters of all the years I've been watching movies. Because he's just a really likable guy, even though he does do like kind of a shit thing in the beginning of the film when he's talking to his ex-wife, but he realizes right away that he fucked up. So it's like you at least give him points for acknowledging the fact that he can be a dick.
Yeah.
And part 2 of House, funny enough, has absolutely nothing to do with the first movie whatsoever.
That's not really a bad thing. That's kind of like Halloween 2.
Well, as a kid, I feel like it kind of bugged me a little bit because I was like, okay, it has nothing to do with it. You know, why call it House 2? The story of the sequel is considerably different. It deals with, you got this couple that apparently they're giving away their baby, who's, screaming up like, bloody murder. They give away the baby, and then apparently they're being chased through the house by this entity that we don't see until later with this really creepy voice, essentially. Kills both the parents, and then the son, I guess he inherits the house. It makes sense. He comes back after like 20 years, back to the house with his girlfriend, fiance, whoever the hell she is. It's been so long. And the best way I can describe this is that all kinds of random hijinks happen. Apparently, the inside of the house, I guess it's got to do with this magical skull in the movie, because apparently this guy that killed his parents, what he's looking for this bluish crystal skull that's supposed to give like extended life or some shit. Apparently, this guy and the baby, his great grandfather, apparently they used to be partners at one point, but now they became rivals because of the skull. Because the guy wanted it so bad, the bad guy wanted it really bad. And that's what the whole movie's really all about. He finds out about his great grandfather, he finds out about the skull, he's doing research on it, and he believes that his great grandfather was buried with it. So he goes and digs up his great grandfather, I forget which, does find the skull, but then he finds his great grandfather is technically still alive and has been waiting for someone to dig him up forever.
Oh my goodness.
So, man, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
That's really gonna suck. But I'll be honest with you, I know I saw House, the original film, somewhere, because it came out in 85. I want to say I saw it somewhere 86, because we saw it on HBO. I don't know exactly how long it was before I saw House 2. It came out in 87. So I'm going to say probably around 88-ish. But I know I saw it before I was 10. That much I know. Now, do I like the second one as much as the first? No, I don't. Do I still enjoy it? I watched it recently, and yes, I do. It's still fun. A lot of it has to do with the main guy. I forget his fucking name in the movie, to be honest with you. Hold on. Let me look that one up. Okay, because the main character is Jesse, but he's got this kooky, crazy friend whose name I cannot find on here. He is really just a kooky, crazy guy, and he's actually hilarious. For me, I think he's the best part of the movie outside of some of the scenery and some of the music that gets played throughout the film and whatnot. Because I think it has a decent soundtrack, and that's another thing. I do like the soundtrack in the original film too.
Yeah, I don't remember part two very much. Like, I vaguely remember what you're talking about.
Well, that's fine. One day we'll do a double feature. I would love to do that for the channel at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't say enough good things about the original house. I watch it all the time. It's actually, I finally picked it as my birthday pick for the Real Movie Critics that we're going to do in May. I finally picked it as the movie I'm going to review, my pick for my birthday month. So it took me a while to finally figure that one out. Now, throughout the years, there's only a handful of horror movies that I got to see. So we'll just kind of address each one, what if we saw them or if you saw them during that time. I'm babbling.
Okay.
The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. Remember that one?
I saw the original Fly.
Help me!
Yes.
I didn't see that one until later in life. But I do remember hearing that particular little piece from the movie in Little Monsters. Fred Savage's character is actually watching, it's actually on the TV while he's trying to stay awake at one point in the early point of the film. So that's how I heard that for the first time. I didn't know what the movie was. When the Jeff Goldblum film came out, the Cronenberg film, I should probably say, I didn't know that it was a sequel. Or, I mean, it was a remake. I didn't know that.
Wow.
I had no knowledge of the previous Fly film whatsoever. That movie legit creeped me the fuck out. With some of the
good makeup on that one.
great makeup, it's a great creature feature. They do a real good job of the de-evolution, I would say, not evolution, but de-evolution of Brundlefly, as he called himself, Brundlefly.
Cronenberg is very good at that. I can't.
Body horror. That's what we call it. We call it body horror. He's very good at it, and it creeped me out as a kid. But the scene in that movie that creeped me out the most, I talked about it before we started recording. Are you okay?
Yes.
We talked about it where at one point Jeff Goldblum's character, or I'm just going to call him Brundlefly, might as well just do that. He's at the bar and he ends up doing an arm wrestling contest with this random guy. And upon doing, while they're in the middle of it, he snaps the other guy's wrist so much so that part of the bone just comes out. And ooh, I don't remember how young I was when I saw it because I know the movie came out in like 86. I probably saw it before I was 10. And oh, man, that creeped me out so bad when I was a kid. Like, it made me cringe. It got to the point whenever I watched the movie, I would look away whenever that happened because it just cringed the fuck out of me.
That's pretty gross.
For the record, I grew out of that. Just so we're clear.
Actually, he still cringes at stuff like that.
Yeah, but at least I watch it. I watch it. I cringe, but I watch it. She doesn't believe me. She doesn't believe me. But I will say The Fly was one of the saddest freaking endings I ever saw to a movie in my life.
Yeah.
You know, even as a kid, that was pretty impactful. Like, damn. Like, what else do you do in that situation, you know? Like, at this point, he is suffering. You might as well end it now and do the guy a favor. You know what I mean?
I would have ended him when he noticed he was already changing and then having to go through all that.
Well, I mean, that would have actually made more sense, but I mean, I don't think they fully understood what was happening to him. Plus, he kicked Gina Davis out right during the early stages and whatnot, so she wasn't around anymore for a while. But clearly, I think his changing only happened over the course of like a week or two, where literally body parts were just falling off.
I think it was longer than that.
It was a few weeks probably, something like that, because I know eventually he gets scared and calls her to come back, and by this point, she can barely recognize him. That's how far gone he is. Oh, and oh my God, the whole puking on his food. Oh, and seeing the ex-boyfriend's reaction when he sees the footage of it is priceless. Because that's probably the same reaction I had watching it the first time. Like when he does it, it's like, and then what he does to him later on when he melts off parts of his body.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was supposed to be worse. They tried to go a little bit more elaborate with the special effects, but it wasn't working as well as they wanted it to, so they just stuck with what they had. But it works. I think it's highly effective.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Still cringes the fuck out of me, but I think it is the best of the Fly franchise, personally. I do like the original, though. I have seen it, and I do like it. It's a very subtle story.
I'm in the minority, and I like the one after that.
Return of the Fly, I believe.
Yes,
Are you talking about the sequel to the original Vincent Price movie or the sequel to the remake?
to the remake.
Oh, you know what? We saw that together a few years ago. I had heard that a lot of people had been shitting on that movie, saying it was terrible.
It's not.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's a very good story. It
Decent
has a
enough story.
story,
I agree.
and it even gives you backstory, and you get to learn about the the characters, and you get to care about them.
And
So
not only
it's good to me.
Well, not only that, but there is a cameo from the guy who played the boyfriend character, the one who got certain body parts melted away. He actually does have a cameo, which it is interesting to see where he was after all this time, even though we never get to see Gina Davis again. So I can't remember if her character was like died off screen. I've only seen it the one time. So don't quote me on any of this. That would be a good one for a second viewing down the road.
It is. I like that one a lot.
I enjoyed it. I'm just hoping that it still hits on second viewing, but we'll see. But it also has Daphne Zuniga in it, who played the princess in freaking Spaceballs. Which, growing up, that was the only thing I ever knew her from. Never saw her in anything else. So, but I know she had at least a few other movies throughout the years. So, I don't have anything but good things to say about The Fly. Brundlefly.
Butterfly.
At somewhere along the line, I do remember watching Creepshow 2. And oddly enough, and for whatever reason, I saw part two before I ever saw part one. Again, this is one of those situations where, because I know it came out in '87, I know this for a fact. That one video that I like to watch where it shows like all the better movies that came out that year, it's actually in that. So now that's burned into my head forever, along with a lot of other films that I didn't know what year they came out. But it's a situation where it played on HBO, ended up watching it, liked it. I thought it was good. It had boobies in it. So, of course, well, mom recorded it for us, but anytime we ever watched it, she would purposely fast forward the boobies in the raft.
Oh my god.
She would purposely fast forward, and it's like, we've already watched this scene. Why are we fast forwarding it? We know what it is.
Puppies.
Puppies, really? Jerry the King Lawler?
Boobies.
Oh, I thought you said puppies. I was like, oh my god, Jerry the King Lawler. Who invited Jerry the King Lawler? Does anybody remember that? Puppies! Puppies! No.
That's stupid.
I hated that shit. I thought it was funny at first, but it got annoying really quick.
Yeah. They learn fucking puppies. I can't freaking talk today.
Yeah, apparently not. So, you know what? You will not hear from her anymore in this podcast. I will just invite somebody else over and we'll do it. We'll take care of everything. Oh, her jaw dropped on that one. Oh.
I guess I'll just leave.
Oh, shush your face. So, did you watch Creepshow 1 or 2 growing up?
I was like a teenager, early teenager.
I mean, they came out in the late 80s. So,
like 13, 14.
Oh, okay. So, did you like them?
Yeah, I did actually. I did. I liked part one a lot.
And that goes into what I was going to say. As much as I did enjoy part two, I liked the soundtrack. That's one of my favorite things about the film. The soundtrack really hits. But somewhere along the line, we were walking around at a store, and I saw the cover for the first movie for the first time, and I really liked it. I liked the way it looked. And I don't remember exactly when I saw the first one, and I wish I would remember this. But as time went on, I loved the first one more than the second one, but the second one still hits. You know, people, I hear people comment, oh, the second one is trash. It's nothing compared to the first one. I'm like, the first one is definitely superior. I will acknowledge that, but that's not saying that the second one is dog shit. I still like it. It's still a very well done movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the whole cartoon thing so much for the creep. It's not as creepy as the way they did him in the first film.
It kind of makes sense because that's part of the comment.
Well, see, and that's part of it too. But I think because in the original film, the only animated sequence we got was in the beginning when the creep is pointing towards the comic book in the garbage can, and then we see him again at the end after all the stories are done. That's it. That's all the animation we really get. But in this one, they actually make an animated sequence that pertains to all the stuff that happens in between, like in the beginning, the end, and then all the stuff that happens in between with Billy and the bullies, so to speak. Which
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I actually like that sequence when the one bully takes his package that he's paid money for and smashes it, throws it on the ground, and stomps it. And Billy doesn't even hesitate, kicks him right in the balls, knocks that kid down real quick, and then rides off. And then, of course, we get the finale after the third story. And that's the most interesting thing comparison between these two films for me. How the first one was 5 stories, but then the other one was only 3. But it works for what it is.
Yeah, they didn't make it as long.
Because even like the first one in Creepshow 1, Father's Day, if you really think about it, that one goes pretty quick, but we learn everything we need to know about it, I think. There were some deleted sequences on the Blu-ray. Some things they were gonna kind of expand upon, but I feel like it works for what it is. Ed Harris is in freaking Creepshow, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, it didn't really hit me. Then I got older and became a big fan of his work, and like, damn, he was young as shit in that movie, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. And one of the biggest things about part 1 that I love is the third story, Something to Tide You Over, where you have Leslie Nielsen as a fucking villain.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love this because, I mean, at the time of me watching it, I think I kind of knew about his movies. I'd seen Airplane at some point when I was a kid. I know this for a fact. So it was interesting, but it didn't hit me the way it did then, as it does now. Going back and watching the movie, it's like, damn, he played such a bastard in that movie.
Yeah,
He
that's the one where he buries
buries them
the
up to their
yeah.
neck, and I love the whole discussion when he talks about how, you know what, yeah, the water comes in, you can't breathe, your heart starts to race. That's going to make it harder for you to hold your breath, no, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that's pretty devious, and all because this guy slept with his wife.
You
But he wasn't
know,
willing to let it go. He even said, like, you know what? She doesn't want any. She doesn't want money or anything. She just wants out. That's it. That's all. That's all it is. But he wasn't willing to let it go. And I love the line in the movie when he actually gets buried up to his neck himself. Great revenge. His reaction to seeing the ghouls is classic. But then also, I can hold my breath for a long time. It's like, oh, he's crazy. He's
just
officially nuts.
I think he was nuts when he was burying them when they were alive.
Yeah, but even more so after that. A little too laughy for my taste. But um, it wasn't until I got older that I got a lot more appreciative of the fact that it was made in conjunction with, you got Stephen King and George Romero coming together, which is funny because at that age, I didn't know who George Romero was. I didn't see Night of the Living Dead till my 20s. And I'll talk about that later. The one movie outside of House of my early childhood before I was 10 years old that really had a big impact on me, The Monster Squad.
Hmm.
I fucking love The Monster Squad. Loved it. And true story, this was my true introduction to the Universal Monsters.
That's crazy.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
Isn't it? But it came out in 87, and I don't necessarily remember the first time I saw the movie, but again, we had HBO for a period of time, and the way HBO used to do it back in the day, when a movie premiered, they would show it like twice a day, almost every day for the whole fucking month. Like they
I
showed
think
it
they did
religiously.
that all the time, yeah.
They did it all the time. So when I saw this movie, it was like halfway through it. I was flipping through channels, having to catch it. Loved it. Loved the idea of a bunch of kids fighting these monsters when the adults don't believe what's happening. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting idea. Even as a young kid, I thought that. And there's a lot of great humor at the end of the movie. I love the look of Dracula. I liked how Frankenstein was a good guy.
Of course, right?
Which, as I got older, I started to realize
The
he's not the
monster
villain that I
is
thought he was.
well, he's a creature.
He's a
Yeah.
creature, but he's a big old softy, which I will acknowledge on this podcast. Rest in peace to Tom Noonan, who actually played Frankenstein monster.
He
He
did.
passed away, I want to say, over a month ago.
Oh
I
wow.
was going to do something on the channel, but I just never had the time to actually do it. So, because it wasn't the only thing he was in. He also played the villain in RoboCop 2. And he was in a few other movies as well, but those are the ones that really stand out for myself personally. Oh, and he was also Jack the Ripper in, or not Jack the Ripper, but he was the Ripper, I should say, in Last Action Hero. One of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies that everybody shits all over. saying how garbage it is. I'm like, fuck y'all. I love Last Action Hero.
That's
That's
the
a great
one
flick.
where he has to get that toy, or he turns into a toy. Or what am I remembering?
What movie are you talking
The
about?
Last Action
No,
Hero.
no, that's the one where the little kid has the magical movie ticket. He's able to go into the movie with his
Okay.
action star, so to speak, and then they come back out of the film at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a whole different discussion. But yeah, Monster Squad to this day is probably my favorite horror movie of all time. That's a movie that I watch every year. I watch multiple times a year. I can quote the hell out of it. Gave us one of the greatest lines in cinema history. Wolfman's got nards.
No shit.
Well, apparently there was a discussion during that scene. Kick him in the nards. He doesn't have nards. Do it. Do it. Mm. Wolfman's got nards. Wow, it was
Wow.
a big deal.
Obviously.
And I love this movie so much that years ago, they actually got some of the key actors, the little kids that are now growing up, to actually bring the movie to the Alamo Draft House to watch the movie. And actually, they did a Q&A before and after the film. And then they did a poster signing after the film for everybody who wanted to get one. And I got to meet them. I got to talk with them for a few minutes. I got a picture with them, which I love to this day that I still have, that I didn't lose that picture. I know I have the poster. I have a pretty good idea where it is because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I know I didn't lose it. There's no way I would have lost that. I have a pretty good idea where it is. I just haven't gone looking for it yet. But that was a great experience. It's nice to know that this movie, because it didn't really get a whole lot of love back then, it's nice to know that it's finally getting the recognition it deserves.
Well, of course. Yeah.
And not only that, but during my podcast, during the Q&A, I asked a question about what are the chances that we might see a sequel? I'm not talking about a remake. I'm not talking about a rehash. I'm talking about a legit sequel with the young actors all grown up having to fight Dracula and other monsters again. And I was told that if the right idea came along, they wouldn't be against the idea.
But now they don't have the creature.
Well, see, and that's unfortunate. And I hate the fact that nothing has ever been done with it prior. But here's the thing, though: you can always, it won't be the same, but you can always get somebody else to play the monster, play Frankie. I'm just going to call him Frankie. I don't like calling him the monster. He doesn't deserve that, and that's what they call him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, I still believe that there could be a sequel. But here's the thing: I don't think it should be a film. I think it should be a TV show because you give a chance to really flesh out the characters, really get to know the people. Not only that, I'm not going to completely say it, but I have ideas for a sequel. I've been tampering around with it for the last couple of years.
He has a lot of ideas.
Yes, I have a lot of ideas. Yes, 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 yes. But in my idea, I had the idea that a lot of ideas. Yes, we like the word idea around here, God damn it. JP's babbling.
Yeah,
You can't help it.
Bit.
Anyway,
Idea.
the initial idea, and it's the last time I'm going to say it, was that
That's
not
the
only
word of the day.
ah, anyone ever watch Pee Wee's Playhouse? Word of the day, ah.
Pretty much.
I don't want to say the word again.
Idea.
Is inception that I had. see, synonyms, good things.
Cinnamon is good.
Cinnamon is good, yes, but that's not what I said. Is doing a crossover with another famous vampire movie from the 80s. Yeah, I'm not going to say what it is because I feel like I would wait until I was actually talking to somebody who could potentially make it happen to drop the idea. But I think if all people involved would sign on and it was a decent enough idea, script, whatever, I think it could work. I think the horror fans would lose their shit over it. It's an idea that could work, people, if done properly. You get people that are passionate about this freaking project, it could work.
Any ideas, if they're done properly, can work.
I agree. But there's so many times where you take stuff like this and you get people that are just out to make cash, just out to get paid. It's like, no, fuck that. Put the effort in. This could be really awesome if you do it properly. The movie has enough of a cult following status that you would get plenty of people to check it out. You might even draw other people. The other crossover idea that I was talking about, the other IP, that could help draw in more people as well. And I think it could work. But I'm only going to leave that as a little tease. I'm not going to go into further detail. Now, do you remember how old you were when you saw Young Frankenstein?
Young Frankenstein.
Yes, Young Frankenstein. Do you remember when you saw it? Because I have no recollection of when
I
I saw it the first time.
The first time I saw it was with your mom.
Oh, that is awesome. That doesn't surprise me because she's the one who introduced me to that and pretty much all the Mel Brooks films that I saw early on. That includes Blazing Saddles, and we actually did see Spaceballs in theaters.
Huh.
So, love Young Frankenstein. If you've never seen it, do yourself a favor, go watch it. I mean, if you have the ability and you were even mildly interested, I could say go back and watch some of the original Frankenstein Universal films, like the first one, Bride and Son of Frankenstein. Because these are the movies that are actually being parodied throughout the film. Also, on top of the fact that it is in black and white, which I thought was a really good touch.
I saw a lot of black and white movies with your mom.
Yeah, mom did like some of the classics. Big ups to her on that. But she still never showed me Dracula.
That's funny.
That is interesting. Very interesting.
I'm surprised you, being a big reader, never read any of those books.
I was never exposed to them. We didn't have those books. Mom had a Stephen King collection, which unfortunately I never read back then. I'm reading now.
You know, you did go to the library, though, right?
I never looked it up. Don't look at me like that. I never thought to look it up. When I was going to the library when I was 6, 7 years old, I was renting the Berenstain Bears, okay? I loved those books growing up.
Those are good.
Yeah. Then there's that whole thing about we forget how that Bernstein is actually spelled.
Bernstein.
Apparently, there's been a confusion as to how it was spelled in our childhood versus now, where it's Stain, Stain, versus Steen, Stein. That's a whole different discussion. The nerd actually did a video on it.
Going off a tangent there.
It really is. But no, Young Frankenstein, one of the best classic comedies of all time. I fucking love it. Gene Wilder, Marty Feldman, oh God, Terry Garr. They work so well off each other in this film. So many good lines. You can't think of any, can you?
No.
One of my favorite lines in the whole movie is after they arrive at the castle and Frau Blucher shows up and the freaking horses are freaking out. Every time they say her name, they freak out. Mm-hmm. And even Mr. Frankenstein, Frederick, it's Frederick Frankenstein, not Frederick. Whatever. No, it's Frederick. I love that scene too. But no, something is making the horses go crazy every time Frau Blucher, her name is mentioned. This happens a couple of times. And even Gene Wilder's character, he's like, what the hell's gotten into them? And even when they're ready to go inside, after you, Frau Blucher. And even the look on Frau Blucher's face, she looks like, almost like she wants to cry. Like she doesn't understand it herself, or maybe she does. I don't know. But then Igor, after he walks in the doorway, he stops, turns around, goes back, Bruga! Big old smile on his face, and he walks back in the house. Classic. It's fucking hilarious. I love Marty Feldman. Also love the pairing between those two, Gene Wilder, Marty Feldman, and oh my God, what is her name from Blazing Saddles? Madeline Kahn. Those three work so well together in another movie that I really enjoyed growing up, Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. Look that one up. Give it a go. If you like Young Frankenstein, I think you'll like that because they work just as well in that movie as they do in Young Frankenstein. But love Young Frankenstein. Just Mel Brooks in general. The guy's great.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Spaceballs 2 next year. I'm iffy, but I'll give it a go. We'll see how that goes. Did you ever see Cat's Eye when you were a kid?
No.
No. Well, Mom recorded this one, and I remember seeing it. I don't remember if it was on tape that I saw it, or if it was on TV. Again, this is one of those movies, this happened a lot as a kid, where I'd be flipping through channels, and I would come into a movie, like, when there's only like 30, 40 minutes left in the film. You know what I mean? Yeah. This happened a lot. So the way the movie works is that it's like, basically it's an anthology film, where the cat is going through and I guess coming into contact with different people in 3 different stories. And the story that I saw the most growing up was the third one when he meets Drew Barrymore as a little girl. Sometime, I want to say she did this after, she did, because Cat's Eye came out in 85, E.T. came out in like 82, I think.
I saw E.T.
I saw it in my 30s. I wasn't impressed.
I saw that when I was like 6.
You saw it earlier than I did.
I did not. Well, I also saw a piece of it before I was 12, I think. I was young. It scared the crap out of me, the piece I saw. Don't like clowns. I
Oh, okay. I
still
was
am
gonna
not
say.
fans with those guys very much. Except Art.
I was gonna
Art's
say,
pretty
what about Art the
nice.
Clown? You gotta give Art the Clown some love. He's gonna come to your
Like I
house and fuck you
said,
up.
except Art. Art has, he's pretty cool. He does some interesting things. He's very talented.
That's one way to look at it. But Cat's Eye, I always liked. And it turns out it's also based off. It was done by Stephen King, based off Stephen King stories. So I always liked the ending of that movie, dealing with the little troll demon that comes out of the wall that supposedly would try to suck out Drew Barrymore's air while she sleeps in order to, I guess, just like kill her by sucking the life out of her.
I don't even
Essentially,
remember ever seeing it.
yeah, that's what happens. And apparently, the cat gets involved with her, and then she tries to take, adopt the cat, even though the mom wants nothing to do with it. And the cat ends up saving her life at the end against this little troll demon, little motherfucker. But as I got older, I started watching more of the film, and then I got to see the middle part that deals with this one guy who has an affair with this one dude's wife or whatever. And it turns out the main actor in that film, I don't have his name in front of me, he's the guy that plays Ted Stryker in the Airplane franchise. That's why I enjoyed watching it, because I recognized who he was. Stryker? Stryker, 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 Stryker. Ted Stryker? Fucking love the Airplane films. They still hit after all these years. They're still funny. But, and then it turns out the first story has James Woods in it. A guy who's trying to quit smoking, so much so that he finds out about this company that kind of goes to extremes to help you stop smoking. So much so that they put his wife in this one room where the floor is electrified, and it's just, going off like crazy. And then they go and they follow him around. They put cameras in his house or whatever the hell. Like they take it way too far.
Yeah.
Way too far. And he realizes really quickly that this is a mistake. And that's Cat's Eye in a nutshell. It's really just one story after another, and it proves that I've been a fan of anthologies since I was a kid.
Do you have that movie?
I do. I have it on Blu-ray.
That's what I thought, because I'm looking at the thing for it. But I don't remember this movie at all. Really.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting movie. If you like any of the actors that I just mentioned before, and who doesn't like Drew Barrymore? I love Drew Barrymore.
I don't know, but that thing looks like a porg.
It looks weird, whatever that is. This next movie, I think anybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s saw it at some point. I'm not even going to tell you the title. I'm going to give you a line. You bunch of losers! You're working with a professional here! Ah! Nice fucking model! Oh my God! You heard it here, folks. She thought it was Pee-wee.
Oh, my brain is not working right now.
Okay, for the record, the guy who directed this movie did direct the Pee-wee movie, the first one, Tim Burton. But no, ma'am. No. Beetlejuice.
Well, yeah.
No, it was Beetlejuice.
Me an easier one than that for me.
Well, how is that not easy? Come on. I bet you half the people of my 27 subscribers that are listening to this right now, I bet you at least half of them got it immediately.
I'm sure they did. They also have a better memory than I do.
Well, okay, that's fair. But I don't think I really have to go into too much detail about Beetlejuice. They got a sequel, a year and a half ago. They're already talking about another one. I'm like, why? I don't know, because Hollywood likes money. But I need to go back and rewatch the sequel. I've only seen it the one time. But damn it, Beetlejuice is such a classic. It is such a funny movie. It's an interesting enough story. Good roundabout of actors. Yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about freaking Beetlejuice.
You know what I saw? Well, you know what? I need to look real quick before I say.
Well, I'll tell you what. While you're looking, whatever it is you're looking it up, I'll do another line from the movie.
That's fine.
Well, what are your qualifications? Oh, well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School, and I traveled quite extensively, and I lived through the Black Plague and had a pretty good time during that.
See, I would have known that one.
I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. So what do you think? You think I'm qualified? Well, what I mean is, can you be scary? Oh, can I be scary? What do you think it is? You like it? Okay, so I did the wrong line. That's on me. I apologize. I'll know better next time. But I'm also gonna.
There was a TV show that I saw before I was a teenager. I
Anyway, a TV show that you
apologize.
saw. What?
Tales from the Crypt.
Oh fuck! Who doesn't love Tales from the Crypt? That was
Well,
a great show.
that was my
You know
horror
what?
one.
Okay, that's another one we can talk about because I don't think there was too much more I had to say about Beetlejuice. If you've never seen Beetlejuice, go watch Beetlejuice. It's a
What the
freaking classic.
hell?
But I will give a honorable mention to Catherine O'Hara, who also lost her life earlier this
Hmm.
year. It sucks. It sucks,
Yeah.
but definitely loved her in that movie, and in the sequel too. She definitely slipped right back into that role, but. Tales from the Crypt, man, that was such a fun show to watch.
You know, now that she's not here, they need to just not make any more. I think
They will
that's.
just kill her off screen. I guarantee they will. As a matter of fact, they could use that as a means of a plot point for the third movie. Like maybe she passes away, they have a funeral for, and that's where the story begins. I'm giving Hollywood too many fucking
Yeah,
ideas.
shh.
I'm giving them too much. If that's what the movie ends up being, you people owe me royalties, man. You owe me $2. $2. I can go buy me a hot and spicy. No, that's not even enough for hot and spicy from McDonald's. Never mind.
No, not anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's
Now
not
with the
even
way
enough
everything costs,
for a
what?
gallon of gas.
Yeah, let's not. We're not going to get political here. We're not
Nope.
going to do that. But no, Love Tales from the Crypt. That's a lot of great classic episodes. Was there any episode in particular that really stood out for you?
From Tales of the Crypt?
Yeah, because I know you own the whole thing,
I
but
do.
I don't know how long it's been since you've watched it.
It's been a while. I see my daughter is 18. When I
Mhm.
rewatched them, she was like 12. So probably about 5 years.
So no episode in particular that stands out for you.
I liked them all.
Okay, that's fair.
That's why I have the whole thing.
Well, it was because of an episode of Tales from the Crypt is why I was interested originally this last year's Fantastic Fest in going to watch Obsession.
Mm,
Because there was the Love Potion #9 episode with
mm.
Andrew McCarthy, excuse me, and Mariel Hemingway.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic freaking episode. I love that one. Another one that I really liked was the wife who ends up killing her husband and turns him into soap. She throws him into a machine at a factory he owns and turns him into soap, but she forgets that stomach acids can kill you. They can melt you. She takes a shower with a piece of soap and ends up melting her
Talk
flesh off her
about
bones.
karma.
Instant fucking karma, as far as I'm concerned. That's another classic episode amongst many classic ones.
Yeah, there are a lot. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, and let's see. Here's one that I know I saw at a young age. I don't remember the exact time frame that I know you got into. Night of the Creeps.
Hmm.
I guarantee this is where they got the idea for Slither later on in 2002, 2003, whatever year it came out. Yeah, Night of the Creeps. This is a fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
Very fun movie about these little what would you
They look kind of like
slugs.
slug.
They're
Well,
little alien slugs that come down to Earth, and apparently they enter your body through your mouth or whatever orifice, but usually your mouth. Go into your brain, multiply, and take over your body and turn you into a mindless zombie. Nice nod to classic 50s B movies.
yeah.
And that's because the opening starts out that way, like an old classic 50s B movie, which I love that. But the best part of this movie, Tom Atkins. And he was also in Creepshow. I didn't mention that before, but I wasn't doing a full review. I love Tom Atkins as an actor. I love this guy. Anytime I see him in a movie that I didn't know he was going to be in, I get a big smile on my face. Like Lethal Weapon, he was in that one too.
Wow.
And he was in The Fog, which I didn't see until later in life. And Halloween 3, rough take or hot take. Halloween 3 is one of my favorites of that franchise. Thank you very much.
That's a good one.
Yeah, well, not a lot of people don't think so.
That's
but
on them.
that's on them. That's their opinion. But what do you think of Night of the Creeps? You like this one, don't you?
Actually, I do.
She really does. Ooh, it's a lot of fun.
It is fun. It is a fun movie.
One of the best random what the fuck does that mean lines in the film is when they figure out what's going on and they try to take out the zombies. It's Miller time.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like, what? It's so random, but it was the 80s.
It was.
It's like in Weird Science when the weird Hills Have Eyes guys start breaking up the house, and one of them looks at a guy sitting down. This bud's for you.
Wow.
So random, but so funny at the same time. But I love the way they came up with taking out the zombies in that film. The idea of shooting the head with a shotgun to explode the head, and then having a flamethrower to burn all the slugs. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, it
It
is.
was a really nice touch. And I have that movie. I want to say I don't have it on Steelbook, but I do have it on Blu-ray. I bought it years ago, and you know what? It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
It's one
is.
of those movies I have to watch at some point between August and October, because when it comes to me, for the last like 15 years since I've become a major horror fan, but we'll get there. I start watching horror movie. I start doing my own personal horror movie marathon. I start as far back as July, because
Yeah.
there's so many good horror movies. You can't watch them all in October. It's not possible. There's too fucking many good ones out there.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Another one that you actually questioned before, Poltergeist 3.
Yeah, because I saw part one before I was 13.
And I did not see it until sometime in my late 20s, early 30s. Mom did not introduce me to that one. I don't think she ever recorded it. And the only reason why I saw part 3 is because, once again, it was on HBO.
And once again, made me really freaking scared of clowns.
Oh, you're talking about the first one. Yeah, well, I can understand that.
That's a fucking creepy clown.
Now, I mean, at this point in time as an adult, I can acknowledge that, yeah, Poltergeist 3 and even part 2, they don't hold a torch to the original film. But I still like that particular film because it has nostalgic value for me for when I watched it at a young age. Again, it's one of those that I started watching when it was already like halfway through it. So I never actually saw the whole thing until later on in life.
You know what's pretty messed up though?
What's that?
There are houses out there that are built on old cemeteries.
Oh, good lord.
And
That's
people
messed
don't
up.
know it, but they are. Kind of like in Virginia, they have churches that are built over cemeteries.
Oh, that feels unbelievably blasphemous. Like terrible. Just terrible. How could you do such a thing? I mean, I get it,
was
you know,
back in the 1800s.
Okay. Okay, well,
And mass graves and all.
go figure.
Yep.
But I mean, one of the things, or several things I liked about Poltergeist 3 was some of the actors that I saw in the film. That's what helped make the movie for me. Now, the girl that plays Carol Ann, Heather O'Rourke, it's very well documented what happened with her. Matter of fact, it's very well documented what happened to some of the cast members from the original film as time went on. We won't go into detail right now, but it's pretty
sad.
It's sad, it's tragic, and it's fucking weird. Just weird. But the two actors in this movie that really stood out for me were Nancy Allen, who I knew as Murphy's partner in the RoboCop series, Lewis, and Tom Skerritt is in this movie. Love him in Steel Magnolias. Love him. That's my favorite role that he has ever done. But I also like him in Alien, which I didn't see until later in life.
Yeah, I saw Alien also.
And it turns out, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I wish I could have that kind of memory. My brain is like bleh
It's okay. It's okay. We're not holding it against you today.
today.
And apparently the girl that played her she played a character in the movie. I don't know if it was supposed to be like her sister or something like that. Laura Flynn Boyle is actually in that movie, Poltergeist 3. Go figure. And apparently the girl that plays Tangina, her first name in real life is Zelda. The irony is very interesting to me because I was a big Zelda fan from such an early age, and I had no idea that was her name. I never bothered to check the credits back then. You know
That's
what I mean?
Robin Williams' daughter's name.
Yes, it is. Who made Lisa Frankenstein, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she did.
So I go on record that Poltergeist 3, it's not a great flick by any means, especially if you compare it to the original. But for me, I enjoy it more than part 2 because part 2 just kind of feels like, we won't get into it right now. We'll save that for later. But I still enjoy watching it because it does bring back some nostalgic memories, and some of the imagery is pretty creepy.
Yeah. There's
In
a
my
reason why I
opinion.
don't like TVs on while I'm sleeping.
Well, you're still talking about the first one. I'm talking about part 3. But yes, we'll get it. One day I will do a full-on review of Poltergeist. We'll have so much fun doing that. Addams Family. Never watched the TV show. To this day, I've never really sat and watched it. I don't think I've seen more than a couple of episodes, but for some reason, I had heard the name. And I think the reason why I know it is from Harry and the Hendersons. You remember that movie about Bigfoot?
Yeah.
John Lithgow? Well, at one point, they're like cleaning him up or whatnot, and they're watching TV, and the Addams family is playing on the TV. That was my introduction to the Addams family. I didn't, mom had to explain to me what it was. And then sometime after that is when the movie came out. And I'm sorry? Well, I'm not sorry. I love freaking Addams Family. That's a great flick. That's a fun flick.
It is.
Yes, it is. Very fun. I will definitely want to do a review on that one at some point down the road. But I want to say this one came out in 1991, so I wasn't exactly a young little kid anymore. I was slowly becoming a teenager, and I didn't like the sequel all that much. As a kid, I didn't like the sequel. I thought it was too different from the first one, but that was just my child mentality because I haven't seen the sequel in a long time, but the more I think about it, I need to give it a second watch because some of this stuff sounds funny to me now as compared to then.
It's funny. You gotta watch.
My favorite part of that one was when Wednesday goes to camp.
Oh, yes.
And that's kind of when I started falling in love with her. I developed a huge crush on her at that point. Sorry to say. Turns out we're the same age.
Okay.
Oh, come on. I had the biggest crush on Christina Ricci between this and Casper. Because in that movie, she didn't play that character anymore. She was just a normal, regular girl with her hair down and everything. I thought she was adorable. Just saying. I'm sure there's plenty of boys out there that you swooned over when you were a kid.
I'm sure there was.
I'm sure there was. She probably doesn't remember, but I'm sure there was.
I know the guy on Casper was.
Which guy? What, the father? Or the
Casper.
Oh my God, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Who is he? Tell me.
Not Taylor Thomas. What the fuck?
No,
is his
no,
name?
no.
I'm trying to remember his name. But yes, I know who he is.
I'll give you a line for when he was older. Well, once you get rid of that hand, what about the other hand? Oh, left one's a keeper. Oh yeah, I guess it wasn't idle enough.
That's
really?
Idle Hands.
That's Idle Hands. Devon Sawa.
Yeah,
that was him as a little boy, who was also in Now and Then, which also starred Christina Ricci, before he eventually hit it really big with Final Destination.
Yeah, I thought he was very handsome.
See, there you go. So you can't give me that funny look. What? You get, as soon as I said crush on Christina Ricci, you gave me a funny look. I'm allowed to have childhood crushes. I didn't even know you back then.
No, but we went to the same school.
Yeah, we did. I didn't find that out till later. Go figure. I think we've gone through the majority of the films that I actually did see as a little kid. Now we're into my teenage years. And quite frankly, I have to share this story. This one's actually funny because mom pretty much tried anything back then that I can remember. At one point, she rented the Rocky Horror Picture Show. She watched about 10 minutes of this movie. She turned it off and said, no. She was not having it. She didn't get it. She couldn't get into it whatsoever. It was apparently too weird for her.
That's funny.
Go figure. And I really think, we talked about this earlier, because when I started working at Tinseltown in 1998, that first Halloween, they showed the Rocky Horror Picture Show in the big stadium, number 4. They showed it the day before Halloween and actually Halloween night. And I finally saw the movie all the way through for the first time, Hallows Eve, and then I happened to be there Halloween night to watch it again and hang out with the crew because, quite frankly, I had nothing better to do anyway.
Wasn't I there?
You were working there, yeah. If you were there that night, I can't remember. But I really think that if Mom had watched it around that time with the crowd of people and all the audience participation that's involved, I think she might have gotten into it, but we'll never know. And that's sad.
Wasn't that the time when I was wearing my Superwoman?
No, you're thinking of Halloween 1999 when House on Haunted Hill came out. See, that's how crazy my memory is. I remember exactly what she was wearing for Halloween that night. And I was working that night in 1999.
Don't remember what year it was.
1999. Like I said, House on Haunted Hill had just come out. You and all of our other friends in our little clique group that we hung out with are all there to watch it. And I was on duty that night. But I crept in to watch a few minutes of it with y'all. So fun Halloween memories. But no, Mom never got to finish Rocky Horror. And it's unfortunate because I'd like to think that maybe she could have gotten into it.
Probably.
But then again, maybe not. Like I said, we'll never know. But Rocky Horror, I do have it on Blu-ray. It is a very interesting movie, but it is a fun musical in my mind. Time Warp and Sweet Transvestite are my favorite songs in the film.
Yeah, I like to see my daughter dance to those. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about throughout the years, because we only got a few more movies that I can remember watching as a kid, leading
Mm.
up to 1997. And that's TV shows. There are a lot of random TV shows that we like to watch as a kid growing up. As a kid, on Halloween nights when we used to go out trick or treating, there were, and first off, there was one, then eventually two, then eventually three different sets of cartoons that we would watch on Halloween night. First, it was, you already know.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was.
you didn't tell me you were gonna kill it. Ah! It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I don't remember the first year I watched it, and that's because I don't remember watching it the first time. It's like with the Star Wars trilogy. With the exception of part 3, Return of the Jedi, I still remember watching that in the theater when I was 3. But the previous two films, I don't remember any time in my life where I didn't know them, and that goes for the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. For all I know, Mom showed it to us when we were 4 years old. I wouldn't know. I don't remember a single time in my life where I didn't know that cartoon. That's how much I loved it back then. That's how much I loved it throughout the years. And I still love watching that shit every Halloween. I've introduced it to my son years ago. He fucking loves it. So we watch it every year. Now, as time went on, sometime in the 80s, they came out with a new Garfield Halloween cartoon called Garfield's Halloween Adventure. I also love this cartoon.
It's a good cartoon.
Growing up, we watched a lot of Peanuts cartoons, so it makes sense that she would introduce us to that one. But you know what? She recorded several different Garfield cartoons, and I think that was my favorite one. Although the one where they go to Hollywood, I thought was a pretty good one too. The one about Garfield meeting his mom, I can't watch that one as often anymore.
Mm.
It hits way too hard for me. Like way too hard. It's like trying to watch Snoopy come home. There is no way I can watch it without getting sad. There's just no fucking way.
Mm.
Yeah, so can't watch. I haven't even introduced that cartoon to Kevin yet because I don't want to get that way in front of him.
Why?
I don't want to be super sad in front of him. I just don't.
You're just showing him
I
it's
know,
okay
I
to get
know.
like that.
I've already explained to him that it's okay as for a man to cry from time to time. He already knows this.
Yeah, but knowing it and seeing it are two different
Oh,
things.
he's seen it. We
Well,
watched a few things together. He's seen how I can get. I'm a big freaking softy when it comes to like sad moments.
you are a
But
softy, period.
well, I figured out what it is. I can't stand to watch other people cry. It brings me down.
Mm.
It's almost like I can feel their emotion or something. It's weird.
No, it's
But
not. That's how I am.
well, there you go. Almost like we're empathics or something. And the other one that I remember getting into later on was the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. Most specifically, the second one.
Didn't Fraggle Rock have a
No,
Halloween?
no, they didn't. They did. I don't remember them ever having well, not necessarily a Halloween episode, but if you want to get down to it, you could almost count the Terrible Tunnel episode. You could
Yeah.
almost consider that one to be like a horror episode, like a Halloween episode, because the way the whole thing is handled with the imagery and the sound effects and the music and whatnot. I could see watching that one around Halloween and getting that effect for a young kid. It could work.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite episodes too. The terrible tunnel. Oh, please, not that. Anything but that. Please don't insist. Please. We insist. Oh, darn it. Loved watching Fraggle Rock as a kid. Yeah, the second Treehouse of Horror. Loved it. It was what were the three stories again? There was one where Homer ends up being he ends up getting killed and ends up being turned into a robotic Frankenstein conversion.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, one where Bart is like this monster with powers that he can do whatever the hell he wants. And what was Lisa's? Because what it was is that it starts off where they come home from trick or treating. They're sitting there just munching out on candy, and Marge is like, "If you eat too much, you'll have nightmares." Oh yeah, everyone in the house is gonna have a bad dream tonight. Oh yeah, 3 bad nightmares. I'd like to see that. And that's exactly what happens. They all have nightmares. But Lisa's was cool because it deals with the monkey's paw. And that's one of my favorite horror stories that I've ever heard in my entire life. It intrigues the hell out of me.
My daughter did that
Mm-hmm.
on one of her plays in ninth grade.
See? See, and it's a very interesting story. It's a creepy story, by the way. If you've never read The Monkey's Paw, I highly recommend it. It's a very, very, it's a bit grotesque, a little creepy, but it's a good story. And there have been several different iterations of that story throughout the years. There's even a movie. The guy from Don't Breathe, the guy that lived in the house, he's in the movie, and whew, yeah, I'll show it to you one day. But yeah, to this day, I still watch these cartoons around Halloween time because they're such a big part of my childhood. It's it's impossible. It's impossible not to. They
Of
just really
course,
hit.
yeah.
But if we're gonna talk about Halloween specials, we got to talk at least for a minute the Roseanne Halloween specials because damn it, Roseanne's Halloween specials were the stuff of legends. There were so many good ones throughout the years. There really were, and I wish I could name all of them, but I remember there was one where they had their house all decked out, like Jackie, her head was inside of the table and whatnot, and then DJ would answer the door with the thing playing off to the side and him trying to mouth it, all that shit.
Yeah.
But then I love how throughout the entire episode, Roseanne is going out of her way to try to scare Dan, but it doesn't work. But at the end of the episode, she finally gets him. And I thought it was really classic way that she did it. It was funny as all hell. There's another one where they go to a party. There's one where Roseanne loses the Halloween spirit, and it's almost like a take on the It's a Wonderful Life where she gets like visited by 3 different Halloween ghosts and whatnot. I thought that was a nice touch as well. There were some really other classic ones, but those are the ones that stand out for me. Did you watch Roseanne growing up?
All the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, anyone who grew up in the 90s, I don't think any of us didn't watch Roseanne.
I used to watch it all the time.
At least until the final season. Yeah, we won't talk about that. As we both take a drink at the same time. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, people. There's only like 3 other movies I can remember watching at a young age that eventually lead up to the first slasher film I ever saw, but we'll get there. Misery, Misery, Misery. I fucking love Misery.
The book is so much better.
What? Oh. See, I want to do a podcast on that. I want to go back and reread the book and take notes and watch the movie and do a comparison because, damn it, yes, the book is way different in terms of the fact that the majority of the book takes place in that one house, that one room. Almost entirely, I swear to God.
Yeah.
The sheriff character from the film does not exist.
You know what I really, really want to see?
What do you want to see?
Gerald's Game.
I still have not seen it. Oh, Gerald's Game. Oh, my bad. I misheard you. With Carla Gugino.
I
yes.
never got to see it. Ever.
I think it's on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, but I've never seen it, and I'd love to see it.
Highly recommended. We're going to have to watch it someday.
I've been waiting.
You know what? I've only seen it one time. That would be another good candidate for a second viewing. Yes, it's a very well done movie. I haven't read the book yet, but I do have it. Thanks to somebody. Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah, you got a lot of them.
But yes, Love Misery, my introduction to Kathy Bates. And I don't think that was my introduction to James Caan. I'm going to say I saw him in something else before that. But definitely my introduction to Kathy Bates. I love Kathy Bates in this movie. I love her as an actress. I think she's awesome. If I could ever meet her one day and just shake her hand and tell her, thank you for all the great memories when I was a young kid. I appreciate it because she scared the shit out of me in that movie. She creeped me the fuck out. And I was already a teenager.
Good at doing that.
In that movie, she sure does. She has such a perfect blend of being kind and sweet and nice. And then she, at the drop of a dime, she turns crazy. Like when she's sitting there talking to him 1 minute about the paper and whatnot. And he talks about how, well, you can't use this paper because it streaks. And then she goes off on him. Or when she's sitting there talking to him about, I forget what she's talking to him about, and she starts getting upset, and she's sitting there lathering or throwing the spoon down, and she spills pea soup all over, and she gets all upset, like, that was your fault. What the fuck?
I wouldn't want to eat pea soup. That sounds gross.
I don't like peas anyway, so there you go. Not a big fan of peas. They're like, no. Don't care for the flavor, don't care for the texture. It's like eating little pimples in my mind. Yeah, that's something you never knew you were going to get in this podcast. Me talking about eating peas.
And pimples.
You're welcome. Hopefully I made you laugh. But, and quite frankly, the ending is also satisfying. I definitely love it. And for anyone out there who doesn't know, who has seen the movie, the scene where she uses a sledgehammer on his legs because she finds out that he's been kind of moving around the house and whatnot, and she doesn't want him to leave or escape, however you want to look at it. You can rest assured the book is worse.
Of course it
The
is.
book is way fucking worse.
Now, if they remade the movie, they need to bring that to life.
You know what? If they remake it, they have, because they were going to. They were going to do it like the book. Kathy Bates was fully prepared and ready to do it from what I saw from some of the bonus features. That was going to be in the film, but they took it out because they thought it'd be a bit much for audiences. And I'm like, you realize that the people, the good amount of people that are watching this movie are fans of the book.
I know the
Just
perfect.
saying.
I know the perfect lady that can play that movie.
Oh, who could possibly play Annie? I think that was the character's name. Who could possibly play her?
The girl that played Obsession.
In terms of her ability to go to switch off. Okay. I don't know if she has the look, but yeah, she has the ability to do it.
She has the look because she seems really sweet and nice, but she can switch.
Oh, she switched off.
That's what I mean. So I think she can pull it off.
Go see Obsession May 14th in theaters. We are not being endorsed by anybody. We just fucking love this movie. It was our favorite movie of the festival. Go see Obsession. Anyway, we bring you back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Anything else you want to share about Misery before we sign off on that one? Because I could sit here and talk all day about that movie.
Nope. That was it.
All right. Oh, one other thing I do like about the book, I will at least say this. I like how in the book we go a little bit further into the progression of him writing the next Misery movie. We actually get to see a lot of excerpts from the story itself and what he was trying to come up with. And I still say I feel bad for him when she forces him to burn the book that he finished right before the beginning, or like right at the beginning of the story. That would hurt. To spend so much time pouring your heart and soul into something, to create something, and have somebody sit there and force you to burn it, or she's going to burn you. Because that's exactly what she was insinuating. She's pouring lighter fluid on him, for Christ's sakes. She was going to burn his ass alive. Psycho. For the record, I did not see Psycho before I was 17, just for the record. Wow. But I think anybody's knew about that famous shower sequence of the film. But I didn't see Psycho until later in life with the old man. But that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to share this story. Okay. The scariest thing that my mom ever saw when she was growing up was The Exorcist. Now, Mom, just like our grandma, our Mima, was raised a true Catholic. We're talking, going to church every week, wearing crosses, praying all the time. She actually worked at a church in the cafeteria, OLPH. She worked there for a long time. Big ups to my Mima and my Papa, who are no longer here right now. I miss them dearly, as well as my mom. But, just wanted to say that. That was when she saw this movie, because, of course, because Mima was a true Catholic, Mom was also raised as a true Catholic. So were her brother and sister. Sisters and brother, excuse me. And this movie scared the ever-loving shit out of my mom. So much so that she told me that I think for a week or something, she would sleep in the bed with her mom. Which is interesting. Because The Exorcist came out when she was already past the age of 15. She was like, 16 or something when that movie came out. Well, whoa. You know what? Let me confirm the year on that. Hold on. Let me check that. The Exorcist. Now, mind you, growing up, Mom had 73. So, okay, she was still a teenager at the time. That's fine. Throughout the years, she built up The Exorcist as being this super, super scary movie, scared the piss out of her, blah, 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 blah. So, upon talking about it for a long time, one day we went to Blockbuster. It was right there, right down the street across from the HEB. You know which one I'm talking about. It had the Fabric Warehouse that used to be there too. Remember that? Yeah, we're talking classic Corpus around here. And we rented the film, took it home. She showed it to me. I didn't like it. I did not like The Exorcist. I remember I looked at her and I said, "You're kidding me, right? This is the movie that you built up for the last couple of years. That was boring. It was boring and it sucked. Like, why were you so scared of this movie?" But to be
You
fair,
didn't have a kid yet.
well, I didn't have a kid, number one, but number two, she gave me the context of what I just said, how she explained I was, I grew up a true Catholic and this kind of thing supposedly really happened. And it just, the idea really scared me. So I understood it, but I still didn't like the movie. I did not see the movie again until sometime in my late 20s when I truly became the horror fan that I am now. That's when the floodgates officially opened. And I have a much deeper appreciation of this movie, and I do like it. I do acknowledge it is a bit slow. It can be a little boring here and there. But I agree with what she said. Now that I'm a parent, that movie hits on a much deeper personal level. And I truly understand not understand on a personal level what the mom is going through, but I can identify with it because if that kind of thing happened to my son, I don't know what the hell I would do. And that idea is very scary. Especially the ending of the film, it hits me on an emotional level because even after everything that goes on and everything that happened with Reagan throughout the film, when she's finally free of what happened, she's sitting in the corner and she's crying and she's begging for her mom to help her, and her mom hesitates. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, up until this point, she's been knocked the hell around like a rag doll by her. She's scared to even approach her, but when she finally does, it's like, man, that's such a touching emotional moment. It really is.
It really is.
Then they made part 2 and it was a complete steaming pile of goat shit, as the AVGM would say, but we won't talk about that today. But at least part 3 kind of redeemed the franchise, in my opinion. But again, we will talk about that some other time. But that was a very interesting introduction to The Exorcist, in my opinion. And every time I watch that movie, I always think of Mom, which is not surprising because a lot of things I do in life, movies, video games, music, makes me think of Mom. So now I understand. Anything else you want to say about The Exorcist as you play with your hair?
No.
No.
I remember watching it. I don't know how old I was, but I know I was before I was 20.
Okay, well, that's fair.
I don't remember how old, though. But
Now, growing up, I have to ask this, leading into the other movie I was going to talk about. Did you ever see any of the Return of the Living Dead films when you were growing up? Because I know the first one came out in the 80s. I want to say part 2 came out 89, 90, 91, somewhere in that ballpark. And then part 3 came out like a few years later, in 1903, as a matter of fact.
I know for a fact I never saw the one where the guy is working in the taxidermy place.
Okay, that's the first one. Oh, wait, taxidermy place?
Yeah, or it seemed like a taxidermy place.
Okay, I think you're talking about the factory that they were working in the first one where they had like all the fake cadavers and whatnot.
I don't remember that one at all.
That's the first one.
Okay, I don't remember ever seeing
that. We're talking about the one that we saw at Dismember the Alamo a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's the first one. Okay.
Yeah,
now,
I don't remember seeing that one first.
For the record, that one is a classic, but did not see that one until later in life. But at some point in my teenage years, I came across Return of the Living Dead 3. Didn't know much about the whole series, quite frankly. But I have to admit, I actually did enjoy this movie when I saw it as a young kid. And to this day, I still enjoy it, even though it's a little bit out there. It's not as fun as the original film, but it definitely is a much more creepier, a very well done special effects movie, especially with the look of the character, the Julie's character.
Yeah.
The whole idea about how she hungers for human flesh, but apparently by sticking all kinds of different objects like glass and metal and whatnot, sticking it in her flesh kind of helps with the hunger. Only temporarily, but it does help. So that's why when I saw the cover down the road, I didn't see it till later. It made perfect sense. Like, oh yeah, okay, so that's what happened to her during the movie. At one point, she puts all kinds of shit inside of her to stop the pain. But again, it only lasts for so long.
That sucks.
It really does. And I actually felt bad for the characters because what happens is that early on in the film, they're riding along on a bike and she's fucking around with him while they're driving at a fast speed. He loses control. They fly off the bike, and she ends up breaking her neck, hitting a pole. She's instantly dead. This happens like the first 15 minutes. This is what really starts the story. And he comes up with the idea of using, I forget what the gas is called in the film, but uses it to bring her back, not thinking about the repercussions. And she slowly starts to become one of the undead while still retaining her conscience, which apparently in this film that actually does happen, because this is not like your Night of the Living Dead zombies. These are different.
Yeah.
I don't know. The movie for me, even now, it is a little crazy, a little bit weird, but I still enjoy watching it because it was one of the earlier horror movies that I watched in my teenage years. And I thought it was a very romantic type movie, how this guy just could not let this woman go. And how the movie ends, I thought it was fitting that they get to go out together, essentially.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch. And I'm not gonna lie, I started watching it because of Melinda Clark, and we won't get into that. She had red hair, I couldn't help it. So, quite frankly, that, and I'm not even kidding here, that is pretty much all of the horror stuff that I saw from when I was a kid up until about maybe 95. I really thought long and hard on this when I was going through all my notes and I was looking through my collection. I even went so far and looked at Mom's folder that we still have to this day, by the way. Just for the record, Mom had wrote down every single movie that she ever bought or ever recorded off of TV, because we had almost 300 VHS tapes in the house. Mom recorded anything and everything. If she knew that somebody was going to want to watch it again down the road, or she liked it, she fucking recorded it. Like, we had quite a few Fraggle Rock episodes recorded on our tapes. No bullshit. And her folder, she actually organized everything in categories: action, adventure, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, TV shows, kid stuff. Like, the woman was she was on the ball.
The woman was him, because he does the same thing now.
No, I don't.
Yes, he does.
No, I don't. I don't do that. I don't have a folder with all my movies written out and signifying whether or not I've watched all the bonus features or not. I don't have that. I don't have that. That's totally a lie.
Bullshit.
How bullshit? Yes, I am truly my mother's son. Yes.
Yes, I know this.
Yeah, we all know this. Yes, we all know what he did. Another reference to Young Frankenstein, I thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, so yeah, that's pretty much all the horror stuff that I might be missing something along the way. Maybe there's something that I did see at some point that I just don't have any recollection of, or I can't remember. Like, I feel like I did see Critters at some point. I remember seeing the trailer for part 2, the new batch, on TV. I want to say I did see it at some point, but I have no idea when I saw it. But my biggest impression of Critters was in the original Ninja Turtles film, when Raphael comes out of the movie theater and he says, "Ugh, why did they come up with this stuff?" That was my favorite reference to that movie throughout my life. Now, this brings me to the last portion of this particular podcast that I wanted to talk about, and that was my official introduction to the slasher genre that Mom did not approve of, as I mentioned before. Now, for the record, in 1995, somewhere in that year, around the summer, I discovered taking the bus. Because we went to the discount cinema in Sunrise Mall religiously growing up. After they opened up, the first movies we saw were like Vice Versa, like Father Like Son, and we went there on a regular because, who doesn't want to go spend just $1 to go watch a freaking movie? It was like a third run. The film prints were usually pretty much in bad shape, but you know what? We don't care. We're paying $1 to watch a movie. We're not paying, what was it, like $3.75 back then. Who gives a crap? So you take that for what it is.
Should I pay $3.75 now?
No shit. Well, thankfully, with the season pass, if you see at least 10 movies a month, that's probably what you're paying for your tickets. Or I think it's less than that. But anyway, no, that's about right. It's about right. Give or take about that, which is awesome. 1995, I discovered taking the bus, so I started going to discount cinema on a regular. Every weekend, as a matter of fact. And I saw pretty much a lot of different things multiple times that summer. I loved it. And what was awesome is that I could literally go to the movies with $5, and I could watch a movie, not really get concessions, maybe candy, whatever, and take a bus home and no big deal. And I did that for a couple of years. Then 1997 rolls around. I'm 17 years old. I can watch R-rated films now. Ooh.
I was, yeah.
She's got nothing on that one.
Well, the first R-rated film I ever saw was it Striptease?
In theaters, is what you mean?
No. No, in theaters, my first R-rated film was Demolition Man, and I was 12.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I do know that story. Okay. Well, then that doesn't count for you because, yeah, I didn't see Demolition Man until later on. But love that movie, by the way. Love it.
Yes.
But my first ever R-rated movie that because when I turned 17, this realization hit me very quickly. I don't have to be with mom and dad to watch R-rated films. I'm officially an adult. I can watch whatever I want, whenever I want, as long as it's not an X-rated film, which never came to the discount theater anyway, for the record. My first R-rated movie that I ever saw without mommy and daddy, Scream. And to this day, I love Scream. I love the first movie. I will always love the first movie. This was, in my opinion, a good introduction to the slasher film because it not only poked fun at the previous films that had come out in the last 20 years, but it also introduced me to those films by talking about them. Mostly Halloween. I would say Halloween, maybe Friday the 13th. There was that part in the opening film when Casey Decker's boyfriend was tied up and he does the whole trivia thing with her. When he asks the question about who was the killer in the original Friday the 13th series, and she jumps up, Jason, it was Jason. Nope, sorry. Look, it was Jason. I saw that.
Mother.
What?
It was a mother.
I didn't know that. I never knew that. I never saw the films as a kid. No one ever told me that. So I'm watching the movie and I'm doing the same thing she is. I'm like, dude, it was Jason. I at least knew that much. Like, I didn't watch the films growing up, but I knew who they were. And when he's like, what does she say? It was Jason. I saw that movie 20 goddamn times. Then you should know Jason's mother was the original killer. Jason didn't come up till the sequel. And I was like, what? Like, my jaw dropped. I didn't know that. And it's like, years later, I remember thinking about it and thought, well, thanks a lot for spoiling it for me, guys. But then again, it's not really that big of a reveal in the original film anyway. So I don't think it really makes a difference. But there you go. That was my first slasher film, my first R-rated film, and quite frankly, I haven't looked back since. And quite frankly, started working at the theater in 1998. That actually kind of helped me because at this point, there were some horror movies that slowly were creeping in. I got introduced to the Halloween series in 1998 when Halloween 20 years later, or H2O, if you prefer, is when that came out.
Yeah.
I went to the video store and I rented the first Halloween. I thought I have to at least watch the original. Otherwise, I'm not going to have a clue what's going on. Did not like it. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was slow and boring. But the one thing about the movie I did like, well, two things. I love Jamie Lee Curtis because I love her as an actress. I'd already seen her in, Fish Called Wanda. I like her in that one. And what was the other one she did? Trading Places. I liked her in that movie too. There was another one. Oh, True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed her very subtle acting at a very young age. I thought, man, she looks like a kid. But she pretty much was at the time. And the music. I fell in love with that theme song immediately. I loved it. And that's because I didn't know who John Carpenter was, even though I had seen some of his films. The one film I saw when I was a kid that I instantly fell in love with, Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yeah, that one.
To this day, that's one of my favorites. I know some people say they don't care for it, but no. Love that movie to this day. I have it on Steelbook. That's how much I love this fucking movie. And pretty much from 1998 on, I was a subtle horror fan. I started to slowly pick up momentum as time went on, like a snowball going down.
I just watched everything that went to the theater while I worked there.
Well, so did I. I literally had a list of all the movies that they would put on the podium. I had a copy of that every week. I always got an updated copy, and I would have the movies crossed out every time I saw them, and I would keep track of it. This went on for years. Like, I've been doing this since I started working at the theater. And anybody who found out early on that I was working at the theater, they were like, oh yeah, that's perfect for you. So I took advantage of those free passes for 11 years, for the record. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, I actually like Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
One of the absolute greatest endings to any slasher film or horror movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Then they made Halloween Resurrection and fucked it up. God damn it.
They do that a lot.
That's another discussion to have down the road. But no, I'll never forget it. I was at the theater when it came out. It was in number 4. We had to stop kids from going into the movie that weren't old enough to watch the movie. We had to check everybody's tickets as they went in.
Mm-hmm.
If they went out, we had to check the goddamn tickets again. We were standing right there at the little tile area. We had to keep doing it. It was annoying as all hell. But they only did it for the opening weekend. But I went in at some point during one of those opening day of the weekend for a random show because I already knew how the movie ended. The crowd pop is one of the best I've ever heard in my entire life for a film when she, cuts the head off, so to speak. The people went nuts. And to this day, it's one of my favorite moments of working at the theater. And even for me, myself personally, going back and watching that movie almost every year for the last 20 plus years, I still love that movie. I still love the ending. And I love the whole, the moment when she sends her son and his girlfriend off in the car and she's grabs the axe and she's walking alone in the middle of the dark and screams his name. Every single time I watch that scene when she screams Michael, I get this shiver down my spine every single time. It's a great feeling. I love it. So, yeah. But that really is what I have to say about, that's pretty much my timeline of horror from the time when I was a kid, from pretty much when I was born up until the time that I started working at the theater. Because quite frankly, yes, I did watch other horror movies along the way. I didn't officially I didn't watch Freddy or Jason until 2003. There is a reason for it, and I think I've already talked about it on this channel, so we won't get into it right now. But suffice it to say that it wasn't until about 2008 that I watched on Cinemassacre.com. James Ralph does a series called Monster Madness, where he did like a different review every day of October, and he's been doing it for years. He helped introduce me to a lot of horror movies that I never even knew existed. And after watching the first year of Monster Madness, I started searching out horror movies religiously. And that's where I am now. I have so many horror movies in my collection. It is my favorite genre. I'll watch anything with horror at least one time. If it ends up being good or not is debatable. But, you can't win them all. But I think that's going to pretty much do it for this episode. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. Anything else I did see Jaws growing up. And some people consider that to be like a creature feature. Some people consider that to be horror.
I guess.
Killer shark. I mean, technically speaking, it does have the workings of a creature feature. You have this animal in the water that's killing people and they go to fight it. But I accept that people call it a horror movie. But for me,
it's more of a thriller.
It's more of a thriller and even like a I don't know, like an adventure type movie, when they finally get on the water and whatnot. And it gives us a lot of great scenes too. So the mayor is an idiot, by the way. He's a complete idiot. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Is there anything you want to share? Any other horror memories that you know about that you want to share about when you were a kid?
Those are the main ones that I can remember. Like I said, I saw Poltergeist. I remember. Those clowns are not my friend.
She doesn't like the
closets are not my friend either.
So I should probably get rid of the clown charms that I bought you for your birthday. I should get rid of those.
You didn't buy me any clown charms.
You don't know that.
I do know that because they don't have clown charms.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah, I know. She probably knows every damn charm they come out with. She's one of those James Avery freaks.
Hey, I'm not a freak.
I'm not knocking. I'm just being funny about it because, I mean, there are so many women that I run into that have at least one, if not two bracelets that are chock full of fucking charms. And I'm just
I don't even have that many charms compared to that.
Bull, you have quite a few.
But I don't have that many.
Well, you have more than your fair share. But you know what? To each their own. I am a person who spends a lot of his spare money on movies, and I've been doing it since the DVD day. No, I take that back. I've been doing it since the VHS days. I still have VHSs to this day. Yes, I do. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. I do appreciate if you listen to the whole thing. Hopefully, we kept it interesting for you. Hopefully, maybe we even introduced you to some movies that you either don't remember or maybe you never saw. Who knows?
Maybe.
We can only hope that we helped educate the people in some fashion or another.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and sign off here. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like. And if you don't like it, leave me a dislike. I take any kind of feedback at this point. Anything you want to share about any of the movies that we discussed here, feel free to drop it in the comment. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe because there's going to be more podcasts going forward as well as more movie reviews. I have a lot of ideas right now. So
yes, he does.
There's even 2 that I'm working on right now, but I won't get into it. It's too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Life has too much pressure.
Yeah, it can be. But a couple last things to get over until I officially sign this off. If you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, or even suggestions, if there's anything, any of my subscribers out there, if there's anything that you would like to hear me discuss or talk about on the podcast or do a review on, on my channel, feel free to let me know. The email that pertains to this would be repeatmovieviewer8013@yahoo.com. I haven't gotten any emails yet, but I look forward to the day I finally get one. I'll probably shit myself with excitement, but who knows? I'll try not to. As well as not only with my own podcast, I also do a series of other podcasts with my brother. You got the Josh Zodiac podcast, which we basically talk about wrestling, weekly wrestling with WWE, just a lot of different news and things that are going on. We are currently, as of right now of this recording, on 4/7. We're currently in WrestleMania territory. It's right around the corner, so we'll be pertaining to that. We also covered the PLEs as they happen. On top of that, me and my brother and our friend Lord Scuba Cabra started a podcast called The Real Movie Critics. We do weekly reviews of random films. Mostly we do classic stuff, but on occasion, especially recently and moving forward with the summer flicks that are coming out, we do talk about more recent films as they come out. So there is that. And Mr. Lord Scuba Cabra, can't remember the main podcast that he typically does on Facebook every week, and I'm going to write that one down. I promise I'll have that detail next time I do a recording. But he actually was nice enough to invite me over to one of his other podcasts, The Crypt of Cringe. He's got about 4 episodes so far. I'm on the 4th episode. Feel free to check that out. It's on YouTube. All these different podcasts that I talked about are available on YouTube and Spotify. And in the description, I'll leave the link tree for my brother so you can find all this other stuff. So there's definitely a lot more Psycho Nerd to be had, not just on my channel. In closing, everybody, please take care of yourselves. Please be safe, but don't forget to have fun. Just not too much fun.